Okay, so welcome everybody. Welcome back to a new video. Today I will be going over a strategy that I have been using and testing out for the sake to make a YouTube video about it. I've just passed a prop firm with it. So I will be showing you guys every detail, everything that I actually came across when I was trying out the strategy, what you can use, what time frame, what pairs. I've backtested this for you guys, and so far it gives me like a 70-80% win rate with insane RR. So even if you lose a trade and you make a trade back, it is like 6 or 7 RR. So yeah, let's get into it. What are we gonna do first in every single trading strategy? We're gonna identify our trend. So our swing trend is this. Okay, so we create an obvious low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, higher low. So we are clearly breaking structure towards the upside. What we're going to do is we're going to try and capitalize on these moves down here. So how are we going to catch this? Well, this strategy will not occur every single day, but once it does, it usually gives you very high RR. So if we're going to look at the fractal structure, okay, so we have create higher highs, higher lows. Inside of this, we're going to create something like this, right? So once we create, for example, this, like this is this leg, this is this leg, this is this leg. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the 5-minute time frame. We're going to see, okay, where are we moving? What did Asia do? Asia expanded. So we're going to see, okay, we changed character here. We went from a bearish trend to a bullish trend on the 5-minute. Why is this the high and not this the high? Because we put in a high, a low. We break this high. So this is now the high, the low. This is now the high that we're going to be looking at. Once we close above it, that's a change of character. We get a change of character. We get this move. Then we get a retracement. And we break structure. So what do we see here? We break structure in towards the upside. Now, we can already see a play forming here. What are we going to look at? That's very important. We are going to be looking at this play right here. This is supply and demand with liquidity. What we're going to see here is this is an area of demand for some people. But there's an obvious area of demand down here. What is price going to do? Price is going to want to use this fake area of demand to use as liquidity towards the upside. Okay? To break structure of the previous high. And this is going to give us a insane RR every single time. Okay? Everything above a 2R is insane. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at this. We want to create a high, a low, a higher high. So this is our internal structure. Okay, inside of our swing structure, right? Higher highs, higher lows here. We are going to be looking for a buy opportunity. We get a high, a low, we break structure in towards the upside. What is this? This is an area of demand. What is this? This is an area of demand. So this is going to be used as liquidity. This is going to be used as liquidity. Now, what are we waiting for to confirm that this is a valid trade? Of course, first of all, in our swing structure, lower lows, lower highs, we change character, so we are now bullish for the day. We're going to be seeing, okay, we are having a pullback. This could have also been a valid zone, right? This is then going to be our liquidity. But because we had a nice reaction from this zone, this was a trade we could have taken. Once we tap the zone and we close bullish, that's when we enter. With our stop just below the wick, like this, and we target a new break of structure. This would have been a nice trade, but not very high RR. If we're going to be looking at this, right? We're going to be seeing, okay, We get this, we get this, we get this, and we get this. And then we break structure. One of the many rules people forget is we cannot close inside of the zone. Why is that? Because if we close inside of the zone basically got disrespected for us, for this strategy. But you can see what power this strategy has, right? If we're going to be looking at the New York session, which was a trade I took, we can clearly see the same thing here. We make a high, make a low. We make a couple of higher highs, right here. And then we go lower. Boom. So what are we going to look at? If we're going to look at our swing structure, this is going to be a break of structure. So now we have a range from here till here. You can see that we had an immediate reaction towards the downside, right? We wanted to hunt liquidity, which was here. What can we see right underneath this area of liquidity? An area of demand, right? What is an area of demand? An area of demand is basically a sell candle before a big buy up or a buy candle before a big sell down. This was liquidity. And we can see we had a bullish close. So we enter on the close with our stop just below the wick of that candle. And we target these RR. I am going to show you guys the trade that I took on GBP USD as proof right here. I don't know if that's clear for you guys. But you can see I took this trade. I only risked 1%, but I made 6%. So that was already half of my my target. So that's what we want to look at. Now, these are our pairs that we're going to be looking at. For the 30-minute time frame, GBP JPY, GBP NZD, CHF JPY, GBP CAD. On the 5-minute time frame, gold, USD JPY, GBP JPY, and GBP CAD. Why these pairs? Because these pairs often move very cleanly. Right, GBP USD, you can see that we get a clear bias for the day. Look, same thing here. If we look at the previous day, you can see that we were selling. And I think I can spot, I can spot another trade here. And this is on the bearish side. So what is this? We break structure in towards the downside on the swing structure. So this is that break of structure. We can see that we have that move that we are looking for. So a fake out move, a move towards our demand zone, towards our liquidity. And just by the pip, no, this was no touch. Damn. Okay. You can see how this would be very nice, right? This was a reaction off of the liquidity high. And that intends to happen. Now, there are some rules that we're going to need to focusing on, right? We cannot just gamble and hope that there will be a very nice trade for us. No, we actually need to follow a clear set of rules. What is the first rule? We cannot close inside our zone. If we're going to be looking at, so this is a sell candle before a big buy up. We closed inside the zone here. So this is not going to be valid for us. This is not going to be a valid trade for us. So even if we close bullish, I am not taking the trade. Second of all, in between, let me see what time this is. I'm going to give you guys a time where it is important to trade. In between 3 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so just a quick recap. What are we going to look at? We're going to wait for this movement. And this reaction needs to be quite fast, right? We don't want to see a very slow move towards that side. And also not just one candle, right? It's 1 or 2 candles. No, 2 or 3 candles, I'm sorry, are going to do the work. But make sure you are in line with your trend. Okay. This is, for an example, a loss. But the distance between the liquidity and yeah, so the distance between liquidity and the demand zone cannot be too big as well. So that's all. We want to wait for liquidity to form. We want to see a clear area of demand. Boom. Let's see how much we would have made today. How much we break structure, just target that. That's 1R. Let's look at this. Boom. Okay. We have this here as well. Like this. That's 5.6R. No. For this would be a nice area as well. One very important thing is that the liquidity needs to take out its own high. Right, so this forms the liquidity and we take out the high. If we don't take out the high and we get this movement, for example, this is not going to be valid liquidity for us. So we need to take out our own high in order for this to be valid liquidity. That's basically it. Don't forget this, take a picture of it, put it in your notes, mark them out. But everything's said and done. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you need any help, make sure to put your question in the description or to DM me on Telegram. Also, put in the comments whether you need help, so I can help you guys out. That's basically it. Yeah, I'm also gonna try to make a public Discord where I'm gonna send a couple of calls in a week, which can be from swing trading or just day trading in general. So if you guys want to, make sure to put in the comments whether you like it or not. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.